Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're doing the next episode of the Everton FC 26 career mode. Now, I know it's been a while, but we are back at it. We are in the January transfer window, so we're going to be making our first signing as well as playing through half the games in the month of January. And like always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for some more Everton FC 26 career mode. So we left off exactly on January 1st. Now, if you guys remember what happened last time is that the board actually took half of our budget that they originally gave us. So we had 72 million from the financial takeover, and then they took half of it away because they realized that we don't actually have the money. So that kind of sucked. So in terms of games, we are going to be playing the Brentford game as well as the Wolves game. We will simulate the FA Cup game against Middlesbrough, and then we'll play the first leg of the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup against Aston Villa, and then we'll simulate up to the league game against Villa as well. So really quickly looking at our transfer hub, we have all of our players scouted. So as you can see, we have Gonzalo Ramos, Amura, Wahi, Bayer, and then at center back, we have Scalvini, Kuzanov, and then at right back, we have Arnau Martinez as well as Hume. Now, originally the plan was to sign a striker as well as two defenders. However, with the budget that we have now, we can only really prioritize two signings. And so it just makes sense for us to go for the defense positions. I will keep these guys on the shortlist for now, though, because again, in the summer, we could be looking to sign one of these guys. The only thing is Amura, he is 25, he has good pace and dribbling, but as a striker, I don't know if I want him to be the main man up top with him being at 5'7". He might be a good winger. However, he has just recently moved to Wolfsburg, so I will be removing him from the shortlist for now, but I will keep the rest of the strikers there. It's just really on who do we want to sign from these four defenders. So if we take a look at what it might cost to sign some of these guys, Giorgio Scalvini is going to be somewhere between 20 to 30 million. So that's pretty much all of our budget gone. Kuzanov is going to be pretty much the same thing, maybe even more. Arnau Martinez might be somewhere between 19 to 25 million, and Hume might be somewhere in the $10 million range. Now, first up, looking at Kuzanov. Now, Manchester City are currently 8th in the Premier League standings, so they probably don't want to be selling off too many players. They would want to buy more players. But if we take a look at Kuzanov's stats, his average rating is a 6.5, and he's only had 5 appearances up until this point in the season. Now, it's probably unlikely, but I would like to potentially loan Kuzanov in with a option to buy. However, I don't think it's going to be very possible because I've never really seen teams just let guys go out on loan unless they're on the loan list. And Kuzanov is not on the loan list from my understanding. So we're just going to have to see. We'll keep him on the short list as an option, but we might have to just straight up buy him. Now, what's really interesting about Scalvini is that Atalanta are actually 5th in Serie A. They have a very good defensive record. However, Scalvini's only played 5 games with an average rating of 6.1. And you look at the other guys who have played more. Hines played 15 games. Kosonu's played 17. Jimisti, is that how you say his name? Jimisti? But he's played 16 games. Kolasinac has played 17 games. So pretty much everybody's playing regular games except for Scalvini. So again, similarly to Kuzanov, we might be able to loan him in. At least that's the most realistic thing to do. Whether the game will let me, though, is going to be another thing to worry about. So now we're looking at Arnau Martinez, and he has 17 games played this season. So by far the most that we've seen out of any of the defenders so far. He has 2 clean sheets. His average rating, though, is at 5.9. Girona themselves are not doing well. They're 14th in La Liga. So one of their better players coming to the Premier League for a challenging side in terms of trying to get top 4, maybe even the title. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And then last up, we have Hume, who has played 10 games so far, splitting the time with Mukiele. And he has 2 clean sheets. He has a 6.2 average rating. So a pretty decent season from Hume. Sunderland in 14th position, but if he does come to Everton, he would probably play more games than Patterson. So he could be enticed with a move up to a better team, more playing time. So I just think it makes sense from that perspective for Hume as well. But again, that's being a little bit more conservative because Arnau Martinez is clearly the better player, but he might cost twice as much. So we have a decision to make. So to keep things realistic, I'm actually going to be delegating the purchase of players because I feel like it's unrealistic to get the whole deal done on one day. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I will be delegating the purchase of players. Their contracts I will go and do myself. But in terms of offering the teams a bid, I will be doing it this way. So I'm going to start the offer at 8.5. I don't want to go any higher than 12.5 because I am very interested in this player. I will go a little bit above his value. The game's telling me we could get him around 10, but I will go as high as 12.5. For Arnau Martinez, we are going to start the offer at 18.5 million, and we're not going to go higher than 23. Yes, I think he is a quality player. However, is he twice the player that Hume is? I don't know about that. So that's why I don't want to go too much higher than 20 million. So we will see what they say to this. So as we simulated to the Brentford game, Michael Keane has been offered a free contract by Genk. We are going to let this happen. We have no intentions of keeping Michael Keane after this season. So yeah, we're just going to let this happen. So we've made some changes to the lineup. Beto is coming in for Barry. At center back, we have O'Brien coming in for Tarkowski. And I believe that is it. Yes, I was going to start Dibbling over Ndiaye, but I would rather get a goal first, get the lead, and then bring on Dibbling. So yeah, this is going to be the lineup against Brentford at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So I haven't played this game in a while. There has been some updates, so hopefully the AI is a little bit more competitive. So let's get right into it. So looking at the Brentford lineup, there is a glitch. I can't select anybody else for some reason, so that's great. In net, they have Kelleher, they have Ajer at right back, Ethan Pinnock, Vandenberg at center back, they have Lewis Potter at left back, Jensen and Jordan Henderson at CDMs. I believe that's Reece Nelson on the right. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Ouattara at left mid. And then that should be Fabio Carvalho at cam, as well as Gerard Moreno up top. So that is the Brentford lineup. So here we are, my first game in quite some time. So very interested to see how the AI reacts. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back playing some FC. I actually haven't played at all. And I've been sick recently, and so it's been difficult to record any sort of videos right now. So just hoping for the best here. Dwight McNeil into Beto. On the left foot, he scores. So easy for Beto. I don't know what Pinnock was doing there. He did not close that gap, and that is his first goal in the Premier League for Beto. Yeah, that was just pretty textbook stuff. I mean, Brentford weren't really pressing me too much. Idrissa Gana Gueye did a really good job of overlapping on the right-hand side, and then we got it back into the middle for Dwight McNeil, and then surprisingly, the shot didn't get blocked, and on his weaker left foot, Beto puts it near post on Keller, and yeah, it's 1-0. Beto slides through Jack Grealish, one-on-one against the goalkeeper, but Vandenberg gets there in time. That was... why did Grealish take so long? I mean, I probably shouldn't have finessed it, but I don't know why he took so long to wind up for that shot. Well, I don't know if it's just Brentford, but what I've noticed so far with these new AI kind of gameplay tendencies is that they do like to keep the ball a little bit more, which is, you know, always nice to see, because that means that defensively I have to stay sharp. As here's Gerard Moreno, great tackle by O'Brien. And Gardner's weakly going to get to Mikalenko, but we get it out nonetheless. So yeah, it's refreshing to see that they actually keep the ball and not just run into you randomly, at least. This is what I've noticed so far. It's only one game. It's only 38 in-game minutes, so we'll see how it goes as the games go on. Oh, as Gerard Moreno's through on goal, I can't get a hold of a defender. 1-1. Just slipped through on goal, and for whatever reason, I don't know if that was just me processing things. I just couldn't select the fullback and cut across that angle, or I was just I don't know. Honestly, it's just one little mistake. I tried to pull Braithwaite up to potentially have Moreno offside. Okay, Pickford. What was that? But unfortunately, couldn't do it in time, and Gerard Moreno's made it 1-1. Here's Beto again. No options. Didn't really know what to do there, and that is going to be halftime. So 1-1 isn't terrible, but obviously we want to be winning this game. So hopefully in the second half we can create some more chances. I know it is a bit risky, but at halftime I did decide to make that change. So Dibbling is coming on for Ndiaye. I know we kind of need him to score goals, or to score a goal in this game, but I am giving Dibbling the chance. He is a young player with tons of potential. So, oh my goodness, what a ball. And luckily, Idrissa Gana Gueye cuts it out. But yeah, he needs more game time, so we need to give him all the opportunities that we need. And also, India's fitness was, oh my goodness, what was that? India's fitness was also kind of wavering a bit, so just decided to make that change. Just to be on the safe side, we have a ton of games this month, so... Yes, Mikolenko gets in there. Dibbling. McNeil. Grealish. Beto just looking for something, anything. There it is. It's Dibbling through. Dibbling! Boy. I just sung your praises. Gave you this opportunity. And you missed the net from inside the box. Yeah, we're just going to play Alcaraz on the wing, even though he can't really play there, but we do need some pace. And then we're going to be bringing on Tierno Barry as well. Again, Brentford just does so well at getting back. Alcaraz, looks like we're in stoppage time here. Trying to focus on making the right play. And that was not the right play, and that probably is going to be, yep, the full-time whistle. So a very disappointing result at home to start the episode. Unfortunately, he was only able to get a point. Dibbling could have won the game for us, but it is what it is. So we move on and hopefully get some news on the transfers for the right back position. So after scoring a goal, Beto feels like he should get a better contract. And honestly, I don't want to do that. So we're just going to ignore that and move on. But we do have an offer for Iliman Ndiaye from Arsenal. Now we know Arsenal are looking for a left mid, because remember, Ndiaye is naturally a left mid. But 31.5 million. I mean, I don't want to just hold players at the club. Like Ndiaye going to Arsenal for better wages and stuff like that makes sense. But I'm not going to do it at this price. I definitely do like the 60 million number that Ndiaye, or it says that is a fair offer for him. So that is probably where I'm going to go with this negotiation. But again, I have no intents or purposes of getting rid of him. So let's propose that 60 million number. I mean, 81 overall, 25 years of age if we're thinking about it long term, unless he has a stupid season, which I guess he kind of has right now, but in terms of increasing his potential, it's not a guarantee. So somewhere between 60 million is kind of where my number is. So even though I don't want them to accept, if they did, I wouldn't be too upset, because this really changes the trajectory of this season, because they are a contending team with us. So actually, I'm going to push it higher to 70, just because Arsenal are in second right now. We're in third. At least that's what I remember the standings being before the draw against Brentford. So we are going to offer 70. I don't expect them to even counter offer, if I'm being totally honest. But if they do, that'd be great. And of course they don't. So Ndiaye, again, a fair value I think would be somewhere between 55 and 60. But we pushed it to 70, and Arteta flew all this way for nothing. When it comes to Martinez, it looks like we couldn't agree, as the initial offer of 18.5 was too low. That is absolutely fine, because again, I would prefer to buy Hume for pretty much half of that. So I would much prefer that. So we are still simulating here up against Wolves, and it looks like Michael Keane has finalized his transfer at the end of this season, so he will be leaving on a free. So James Tarkowski has accepted a free transfer from Atalanta and Real Betis. So again, he does want to leave. He transfer listed himself, or submitted a transfer request, I should say, and we can't negotiate a contract anyways. So even though I would like to sell him and get some money back, that is no longer on the table. So he will be leaving at the end of the season, and wherever he goes is up to him to decide. It says offers made for Hume. So it looks like we have agreed on 10 million for Hume, which is a very good number. I'm very happy with that. But before we actually do that negotiation, he is a 76 rated defender. So I do want to check the squad hub real quick for our current financial kind of standing with the club. I don't want to offer him too much. So if we take a look at other defenders like O'Brien, for example, he started the season at 76 overall, and he's making 27,000 a week. So fullback, probably less valuable than center back. So maybe offering something like around 20,000 per week, or 25,000 is going to be the goal with this negotiation. So starting off with the squad role, he's probably going to be important. He might even ask for crucial, depending on how he sees the whole Seamus Coleman situation. I'm going to offer rotation though and see what he says to that. So like we expected, he wants an important role. That is absolutely fine by me. His current wage at Sunderland is actually 36,000, which it kind of makes sense because he's one of their better players. So I do want to offer him a long-term deal. I think it makes sense if you were going to go short-term to give more money, but because we're going long-term, we're going to offer him less, if that makes sense. That's kind of North American sports thinking, but I will offer him a 4-year deal and see if he wants to do that. Again, 36,000 is a little bit too much for me personally. I would like to offer something like 25. So we might give him a bonus or two to kind of make it make sense. We don't really care about release clause. And yeah, so we're going to have to make the offer. So I will offer the 25. I did want to do 20 originally, but I feel like now that we know he's making 36, it doesn't really make sense. We'll offer him the 800,000 we have left over, so we'll be at 24 million exactly for a signing bonus. And when it comes to an actual bonus, he will be making appearances. Let's do a clean sheet one, and if he gets 10 clean sheets, we'll give him another 500,000 on top of that. I think that makes sense. We don't really keep clean sheets too often, and 500,000 not too bad. So we're going to offer this to Hume, and hopefully he accepts. And his agent believes that's a reasonable offer, so Hume will be our first signing of the career mode. And yeah, it's going to be super exciting having a new starting right back. Not that Patterson's been bad, but we definitely needed some rotation and some quality in that position. So they gave us a C rating. They actually thought we could have got 8.5 million. I believe that was my starting offer though, so I don't know where that's coming from. But as you look at the contract as well, Patterson making 18,000 a week, Hume making 25. I just think we did good business there. So very happy with this deal, and he's going to be making his debut, not in this game against Wolves, because again, this is the day of the game, I believe. So I think it makes more sense and more realistic for him to start in the next game. Now, this is a very interesting one. We just got an offer for Tim from Brentford for $7 million. Now, when it comes to that price point, I think 10 million makes sense, as the game is saying a fair offer should be in that range. However, I do like Tim as a player. It's just that we haven't really been able to get him in a whole lot because of Idrissa Gana Gueye and James Garner having so good stamina that we don't really rotate as much. Now, I will say, I think I'm going to reject this because he is still part of the team. If Brentford came for Dewsbury Hall, for example, I would be more inclined to negotiate a deal there. Because with the addition of Hume, it actually drops Dewsbury Hall to the reserves. We will be transfer listing him. His morale, as you can see, is not really happy. And I just feel like it just makes sense to get some money back to potentially get a center back of a higher quality, because we are losing Tarkowski, so we need somebody in that 80 overall range to replace him. So I do feel like transfer listing Dewsbury Hall, even though he is a quality player, he just doesn't fit in this team. He's a center mid. He can't really play cam or CDM. So we are going to be transfer listing him and hopefully getting something like 12 to 15 million for him. So now we're heading into this game against Wolves, again at home. This game is actually going to be played in the snow, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad in terms of the contrast on the screen, but making some changes. So Tim is actually coming in for Idrissa Gana Gueye, and then at center back, we're going to give Branthwaite a rest and play O'Brien at left center back. We are having Hume start on the bench, as he'll probably come on at halftime for Patterson. As you can see, Patterson's been playing a lot of games recently, so he is a little bit fatigued. But yeah, this is going to be the starting 11. So this is the starting 11 for Wolves. Players of note, obviously they have Jose Sa in net. They also have Gomez, or João Gomes, however you want to pronounce it, at left center mid, as well as Hwang Hee-chan at left wing. And honestly, the Wolves team is not as strong as it once was. They are 19th in the table, so we drop points against Brentford. We absolutely have to win against Wolves. Now, when it comes to the pitch, I actually thought for some reason that the pitch was going to be completely covered in white, and so it would be difficult to see then, but, you know, this is actually all right. So obviously we do have Tim starting now, just for this game, not a starting position, but I do want to give him more game time with that offer coming in from Brentford. You know, I feel like it would make sense for him to want to leave, potentially on loan, because he hasn't played that much, but hopefully now we're giving him this opportunity to see that he is going to be a useful player for us, as Grealish and Dwight McNeil here. Here's Tim. He's going to have a crack, actually. Didn't really get the best first touch, but it wasn't a terrible shot. as we get a chance. Look at the snow. This looks so much better than in FIFA's of past, at least from what I've seen. And why is the Everton logo on the back of my jacket? Y'all seen that? Oh, what a beautiful ball. Barry to Iliman. Ndiaye, and he makes it 1-0. No doubt about it. Just a good counterattack from Everton. His 9th goal in the Premier League this season. And just a simple through ball. The pace that we were needing in that last game. I think he was just a bit too tired. And Brentford defensively were a lot more secure than Wolves are. I mean, they're 19th for a reason. So Iliman Ndiaye is probably the one person you don't want through on goal right now if you're the opposition playing against Everton, and he puts it into the top corner, and it's 1-0. I know it feels like this is all that I talk about, but the AI again, I feel like it's okay in games like this because Wolves are 19th and they're kind of supposed to be bad. It would be kind of weird if they were playing like prime Barcelona against me, right? So, but yeah, I'm okay with them not being the greatest team, at least defensively. Maybe offensively, they're just like, screw it, we're just going to send everybody up. But I mean, there's another steal by Tim. He's had a pretty good game to start. It's still Tim. He's going to go all the way. It's Tim. Oh my god. What a goal. Tim takes it coast to coast. Only his 4th appearance of the Premier League season this year. And he scores an absolute gem of a goal. Steals it from the Wolves player and takes it all the way himself. I mean, the defense just opened up. Tierno Barry's run just absolutely sold whoever number 4 is and opened up the space for Tim. And off balance, he still puts the ball in the back of the net. 2-0 Everton. Let's go. Oh, it's a simple 1-2. Barry, McNeil, back to Barry. It's a big save by Jose Sa as the defense kind of closed down the angle of my shot there. But again, simple plays here against Wolves seem to be all that we need, really. Don't need to overthink this. So since we're only going to be going halfway through January in this episode, we've already made one signing. Drop in the comments down below who you guys think we should sign. If we should go with the 2 center backs that I have in the short list, or if there's anybody else that maybe we should sign for that position, or if there's another hole in this team that you guys think that I should fill before the window ends, let me know in the comments down below. Because again, with this series, it feels like there's not a lot of fan engagement yet, because obviously new channel, you know, that just happens when you're a smaller creator. But even if you're just one person, that one person could make a difference. As Ndiaye slides through McNeil, back to Barry. What a save by Jose Sa. How did he not expect Dwight McNeil to be the one to shoot there? That was kind of crazy. We don't have a ton of people in the box. Is that a setting? Like, what? Let's run. You know, let's crowd the keeper. Let's get more guys in there. Wow, nobody moved. Nobody moved when I did that. Alright, sick. Hold on. It's Barry. For whatever reason, a striker outside the box, and that's probably why. It's 3-0. And a deflection off the Wolves defender as Tierno Barry, on his weaker left foot, puts the ball towards the net. And good things will happen when you do that. Yeah, I think it was just a deflection off of Doherty. But I'm like, why is there no players in the box? But clearly they know what they're doing, because we have now made it 3-0 before halftime. It actually went off his shoulder. That's unfortunate for Jose Sa, as it's 3-0 Everton. Good little 1-2 here from Wolves to end the half. It's Hwang Hee-chan, Tolu, Gomes, Hwang Hee-chan. They won't shoot. They finally shoot, but Pickford with the save. And that is going to do it for the first half. So still 3-0 heading into the second half, and it's all about just getting the 3 points. So I'm actually making a ton of changes here. We're bringing on Beto for Barry as he was a little bit tired. Dibbling is going on the right. We're going to play Ndiaye on the left and see how he does there. And then the main one making his Everton debut is Hume. So again, I know Hume playing right back, it's not the flashiest position, so not a striker or a cam or a winger, but he is going to be somebody who holds down the fort for us in the back. So we need players like that, especially moving forward. But he is capable of overlapping, but the ball for some reason went to Beto instead. Look at this. The pace. Just the ability to recover. He went all the way up. He was caught out of position. Hwang Hee-chan made that run down the line. and he was able to recover. And Hwang Hee-chan's not the slowest. So very good early signs from... Oh, ball's in. Get that out from Hume. We are under some pressure here, but Tim, again, continuing to have a good game. Gets the ball for us. Here's McNeil, waiting for Beto to make a better run. He does. Evades a slide challenge. Can he get the shot away? No, it's actually a pass back by the defense, but promising things here from Tim. And Beto coming on as well. Here's Dibbling. Oh, beautiful move by Dibbling. He's in the box. Is he going to pass? Is he going to shoot? He goes for the shot. It's stopped by Jose Sa. Should have gone for the pass. But what a move that was by Dibbling. As Hwang Hee-chan does come off the pitch. Let's have Garner take this. Again, Barry outside. I don't know if that's a glitch or what. But we are going to whip this in. I think I put a little bit too much. Actually, it's not that bad. Here's Tim now. Gets it into O'Brien with that shot, and O'Brien, the center back, with acres of space, puts the ball into the back of the net. His first goal of the season. Just a weird play. I don't know what's happening with these corners. Like, why is Tierno Barry top of the box when he's like our #1 goal threat? I might need to take a look at the corner, I guess, positions or the roles. But yeah, Wolves, I mean, why is half their players running to the right side? I know we have players there, but the ball is in your box. You might want to block the shot. But we'll take it. It's 4-0. Ndiaye through to Beto. Beto's going to cut in. A little heavy on the touch. Just too much space. What are these guys doing? Holy, Wolves are 19th for a reason. And again, I haven't changed the difficulty, so I don't know why these guys are so much easier to play against than Brentford was, but it might be something to do with the dynamic difficulty or whatever the case may be, but they have done Wolves so dirty. How Beto was able to just cut inside, take a bad touch, walk inside, and then their defense are like just absolutely lost. I'm pretty sure they're playing a 5-back as well, if I recall correctly, or maybe it was yeah, it should have been like a 5-2-3 or something, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's 5-0 now. So for the last two changes, I'm bringing on Roll and Alcaraz. It's 5-0 in the 66th minute. I'm just going to simulate to the end of this game because there is really no reason why we should be losing at this point or even drawing. So we are going to sim to the end, and we get another goal by James Garner, and we win 6-0. James Tarkowski has finally finalized a move away from the club. He will be joining Atalanta at the end of the season. And Atalanta has a center back that we are interested in, so maybe now's the best time to put in an offer. Like, I know it's technically at the end of the season, so if we can potentially loan Scalvini, that would be great, but will the game let us? The player's contract length is too short for the club to consider letting him go out on loan. So he only has 6 months left on his contract, and he's 22. I believe you need to be 23 to be able to be approached on a free transfer, so Scalvini holding out his contract, them bringing in Tarkowski on the free. This just makes a ton of sense to me. Now, we actually might be able to get him for cheaper than the 26 million that these guys are potentially going to be asking for. So I will delegate to buy, and I will start the offer at 20. I don't want to mess around here because he is somebody that I'm interested in. Now, we only have, I believe, $23 million in transfer budget or something like that, but I'm just going to put at 20. Oh yeah, it won't even let me. So 23.5 is the max that we can offer. So we're just going to drop it at 23.5. I don't really see the need to make another signing unless we're able to sell Shrewsbury Hall. So we're just going to put it at 23.5 and hope and pray that they can accept this offer at 20. So this is going to be the side going up against Middlesbrough in that FA Cup. I know we are at home, so it's probably a bit safe to rotate more players. However, I do want to make sure that we get through. These are the only competitions that we are in this season. So if we can have a deep FA Cup run, that would be ideal. So as you can see from the starting 11, we've moved Dwight McNeil from cam to left mid. James Garner stays in with Drissagana Gay. And then at center back, we keep Branthwaite, but we bring in O'Brien as well as Pickford staying in net. And Hume gets his first start for the club. So this should be more than enough for us to get through. So we are going to simulate. And hopefully we win not on penalties. And we win 3-0 in regular time, I guess you can say, or in the 90 minutes. So we didn't need to go to penalties, which is great. And if we take a look, Dwight McNeil picked up a brace. Is a brace in the same half? I always consider a brace just to be 2 goals. But anyways, he scores 2 goals. And then Patterson actually comes on for Hume in the 48th minute, which is a bit interesting. So Hume only played 48 minutes in his first start, but Patterson comes on and scores in the 89th minute. So Beto has gained the role of Advanced Forward Plus, so we're going to give that to him. And I believe it was Idrissa Gana Gueye who also got Holding Plus Plus. So 2 new role updates as Idrissa Gana Gueye at 36 years old, still holding it down for us. So we just got an update from Germany. Now Ozan Kabak, he is 25. I don't think his starting overall is going to be high enough really for me to consider him. But I will scout him just in case. He's in bad form right now, so maybe we can pick him up on a cheap kind of deal because, again, Michael Keane is also leaving. So we want to sign another center back, but again, that can wait till the summer. So not in any rush, but I am interested to see what kind of stats that Kabak has. Shit. Well, here's an offer that is very interesting. So first we had Iliman Ndiaye from Arsenal. Now I did value him a lot higher than his value because he's been playing like a $60 million player, or a $70 million player I should say, because that was the offer. Now we have Man City coming for Dwight McNeil. You guys have Foden, Bernardo Silva, Rayan Cherki. Why are you guys coming for Dwight McNeil? Oh my god, that's so annoying. Like, he's also 26, he's also 81 rated. He's also playing outstanding. I'm gonna drop a 50 million price tag, and if they match that, then so be it. But why is this happening to me now of all times? Please just walk out. I think 50 million is fair because he's one of the best players in the league this season. That's why Man City are coming to us in the first place. So 50 million, please Pep, just get out of my office. Please. Don't throw any counter offers, don't accept it, just walk out. Thank you very much. That's the best case scenario. Okay, so we got an update on the Scalvini transfer offer. So they did accept $22.1 million, or euros or pounds or whatever. Pounds, it's pounds. Anyways, the thing is with this transfer, again, I kind of need to reiterate why this makes sense. Scalvini right now is playing for Atalanta, who are 5th in the Serie A. I think they're still 5th anyways. They have a very good defensive record, so you would think that it doesn't make sense to sign him. But he's not the one playing. Everybody else, all the other center backs, have a ton of games played this season, while Scalvini only has a handful. And on top of that, they just signed James Tarkowski for the summer on a free. So clearly Scalvini's not on their plans. He has 6 months left on his contract. I just think it makes a ton of sense. So again, looking at the wage structure, he is a 78 rated defender. So we're kind of looking at Branthwaite here, who did start the season as a 79, and he's making 34,000. So again, Atalanta probably playing him a lot. So maybe 35,000. I don't really want to go into the 40s. But if I have to, then I probably will. But again, him making more than Ndiaye doesn't make a ton of sense, if I'm being totally honest. So we'll try to keep it under 40,000 for Scalvini. And yeah, let's see how this negotiation goes. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that we don't have a ton of money left over. I think it's, 1.4 million. He's on 42,000, so I think him taking a little bit less makes sense. However, in terms of bonuses and stuff, I don't know what I can offer him. Now, 78 rated, we are going to offer rotation again and see what he says. Even though he might ask for important, he will ask for important, so that's not a problem. I think we can slowly phase Tarkowski out of the squad. So having him being an important first team player makes a ton of sense. So we are going to accept that. Contract length, again, I'm going to keep it to 4 years. I think 5 years is a bit too much. So 4 years for a player of his caliber makes sense. They're okay with that. No release clause. They are also okay with that. Now, 1.4 million to make this work. So if I offer 35, does that drop it? That drops it a fair little bit. It goes from 1.4 million to 500,000. Do I just offer him the 500k as a signing bonus? I think we just do. I think we just have to we have to do everything we can to sign him, and if he declines this, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So this is going to be our offer to Scalvini. I think it's a fair offer. You know, not too much less than what he's making at Atalanta, plus the signing bonus, and he accepts. So no problem there, as Giorgio Scalvini is our second signing of the transfer window. There he is, meeting the manager. Super excited with this signing, as he has a potential to be one of the best center backs in the league. Now again, we do have to worry about offers from other clubs, but he will be wearing the number 3. I'm okay with that. I think the number 4 was also available, but number 3 for a center back is mighty fine. as Giorgio Scalvini comes in for 22.1 million. So it is a lot. It's pretty much, yeah, it is all of our transfer budget gone now. But as you can see, the price rating is an A very, very good deal. So I know I did say that you guys should recommend some transfers that we do in January still. So there are some players here like Dewsbury Hall who could get 10 to 15 million depending on who comes for him, as well as maybe selling like Beto for another little bit. But again, then we don't have a striker. There's Travers, who's a goalkeeper. We have a couple goalkeepers, so maybe that could make sense, but not a lot of money in terms of budget. So it could be something like settling Grealish's. Never mind, we can't do that. It could be something like a small little transfer when selling Dewsbury Hall. So anybody maybe who's around $10 million, or if we can loan somebody in, that's on the table as well. On the day of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Aston Villa, Asnu needs a day off to deal with a personal matter. So we are going to give him the time off. I mean, was he going to start? Maybe. But now he's definitely not going to start. So we'll see how that affects the starting lineup. So with the signing of Scalvini, it actually pushes Michael Keane into the reserves. Asnu will be on the bench, but obviously with the leave of absence, we're going to be putting Seamus Coleman in instead. We have a fully fit lineup, and our next game against Aston Villa is in like 4 days. I would actually like to prioritize this game, so we are going to be going with the starting 11 that features Hume now. He will be a starting 11 player. No need to worry about Patterson taking that spot, but we will still be playing Patterson a ton, so don't worry about that. But Hume is the better player, so we will be doing that, and then Scalvini probably will see some minutes at some point in this game for Tarkowski. So this is the Aston Villa starting lineup. They have Emi Martinez in net, Konza at right back, who is, I believe, naturally a center back, so maybe some pace there will affect that in terms of our game plan. We got Pau Torres and Tyrone Mings at center back, Lucas Dean at left back, Kamara Tielemans at the CDM positions, Evan Gesand at right mid, Jadon Sancho on the left, Harvey Elliott at cam, and Memphis Depay up top. So a very, very strong Aston Villa side. And this is new. We have Carabao Cup officially licensed in the game. Look at the broadcast. That is beautiful to see. And it's been a long time coming. I don't even remember the last time we had that. I didn't play the FA Cup game against Middlesbrough, so I don't know if they still have the official package for that, but the Carabao Cup one is actually very clean and very nice to see. A great ball from Garner in behind for Barry on his left foot. It's Tierno Barry. It's 1-0 Everton. Like I said, Earl Konza on the right back position was too preoccupied with our winger. He was out of position, and once Barry saw that gap, he was gone. James Garner with a beautiful through ball, and just like that, Everton up 1-0 in the semi-final. Now this is the first leg of 2, so again, this isn't going to advance us to the final if we do win. So again, getting the biggest lead possible is the goal here. Jack Grealish slides through Tierno Barry. They just can't keep up with the pace. They just can't, but Emi Martinez saves Aston Villa from going down 2-0. Barry slides through Ndiaye. You already know what the end result is. That left foot is magical, and he puts the ball into the top corner. 2-0 inside 30 minutes. What a goal from Ndiaye. And Tierno Barry, I could never in a million years expect this guy to have that complete 180 in terms of his performances from the beginning of the season. I was begging for a new striker, and now he's just irreplaceable. We're just playing Beto because he's our only other option when Barry's tired. And Iliman Ndiaye, thank goodness we didn't sell him to Arsenal. And that is halftime. Everton up 2-0. Again, we just want to have the best score going into the second half. Tierno Barry with a goal and an assist, playing excellent football at the moment. Memphis Depay with the shot. Stopped by Pickford, and he's going to hold on. A little bit too much space for the Villa forwards, I will say, but luckily we got Pickford in the net. Garner to Ndiaye. Little 1-2 with Barry. Here's Iliman Ndiaye. Tons of space. Is anybody going to stop him? No, they will not. That is 3-0. Ndiaye picks up his second goal of the game. I'm just going to call it a brace. I don't care if it's in the same half or not. That's a brace for Ndiaye. And it's 3-0 Everton. A lovely switch from Garner to get it to Ndiaye, and a little 1-2 with the header. Tierno Barry should pick up another assist here, actually. So, again, that duo is just going crazy right now. Barry with the through ball to Ndiaye. He has Barry again. Barry into the middle, and it's Dwight McNeil, and it's 4-0. Probably the slowest counterattack there. Barry just putting the ball into a gap. Ndiaye gets it back to Barry, and Barry's ball into the middle wasn't the greatest, but it did the job. Little dink into the middle, and then Dwight McNeil's shot was also a little bit of a dink. Right over the shoulder, I believe, of Emi Martinez. So that is 4-0 now for Everton. We're going to make some changes, and then we're just going to see this game out. I'm him. I'm him. You can just say it. I'm him. And that is the full-time whistle. Everton win 5-0 in the first leg. So back-to-back games where we have a ton of goals. So there might be a lot of goals in the video, but it is what it is. We're just cooking. But we are going to be having a huge lead going into the second leg. So almost a guarantee that we will be in the final of a cup this season. I just got a message from Pickford after the game. The squad have seen how you backed Asnu, so obviously he needed a day off. This is why we will play for you all day. That is what I love to hear. So that is going to be it for today's episode of the Everton Career Mode. So we made 2 huge signings in this one, and in the next episode we're going to be finishing off the January transfer window. And like always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Peace.